Hyun Nam in the Philippines. I'm very happy to have you as my audience today. And as Mr. Tommy introduced me, I was with his wife when she was a volunteer in the Philippines. And like Tommy said, she was not guided by me when she was in the Philippines. I was guided by her. But now I see that she's well guided by her husband, Mr. Tommy. So now I feel that she has big change in her life. But when she was in the Philippines, she was not well guided by me. I was guided by her. Anyway, I'm very happy to see you through this internet. And as you see, Philippines is very, very beautiful country. If you have not seen Philippines, you should try to come to Philippines, because if you haven't seen Philippines in your life, I would say that half of your life is already dead. So to make your half life alive, come and enjoy the Philippines while you have life in this world. Anyway, before I introduce my lecture, I'd like to introduce Philippines first. But I am not from Philippine Tourism Agency. I have nothing to do with Philippine Tourism Agency. But because I'm very proud of living in Philippines, I like to introduce this Philippines to you. Ready? Did you enjoy the video? Yeah, I believe that you will surely inspired by this video, and you have heart to come to Philippines. I am living in the Philippines more than 25 years. So in some way, I am not Korean. I would say that I am part of Philippines. So I have Philippine blood in my body, although I don't have Philippine citizenship, but I like to say I am Filipino because once I got dengue fever. You know dengue fever? Dengue fever is a very dangerous fever, which can destroy the blood. So at the time, I was bitten by the Philippine dengue mosquito, and because of that dengue mosquito, I got dengue fever. And then the doctor said to me, this Korean will surely die. At the time, he said in their dialogue, he thought that I don't understand their dialogue, but I was studying the Tagalog. Their dialogue is Tagalog. I could understand that I'm going to die. So I thought, Lord, am I really going to die in the Philippines? But I was very lucky. I have a mentor in my life, and that mentor called me, and he said, you are not going to die. And that became strength in my heart, and I could overcome big depression in my life. So today, I want to share my experience, how to overcome depression in my life. So my title for you today is how to overcome depression in life. So I hope you enjoy my lecture. So now, shall we start our lecture? Let's go to a PowerPoint presentation. Welcome to International Mind Education Institute. Introduce myself. My name is Kyung Hyun Nam. I'm working as president of IYF, International Youth Fellowship, and IMEI Philippines. IMEI means International Mind Education Institute. Yeah, this is my title in the Philippines. I'm working as the president of International Youth Fellowship and also working as a regional director of International Mind Education Institute, Philippines. So now my title is How to Overcome Depression in Life. But I like to introduce Philippines first for you to be too much attracted by the Philippines. This is the Philippines, you know, beautiful, isn't it? This is called the Chocolate Hill. You can see this mountain if you come to Philippines. In the twilight, you know, it will change into chocolate color. That's why they say that this is a chocolate hill. And this also is a very beautiful scene of Philippine Sea. Everywhere in the Philippines, you can see this beautiful scene of the sea. Yes, there are many beaches like this, so beautiful, and you can enjoy swimming there. This is called Boracay. Have you ever heard about Boracay? This is one of the 3 most beautiful beaches in the world. This is very famous in the world. Boracay Beach. And this also is very beautiful island, which is called Palawan. Its geographical beauty is the same as Vietnam because it's very near to Vietnam. You can also enjoy such a beautiful scene. And this is a living volcan. You know, volcan. This year, early in this year, one of the volcans in the Philippines erupted, and because of that, we couldn't come to Bangkok camp. There are many volcans which are still inactive. So if you come to Philippines, don't go to mountain. There is a possibility of eruption of the volcan. And the beauty of the every province, you know, I cannot explain all because there are so many beautiful scenes like this. So now you experienced all the Philippines. If you have no money, just enjoy with this picture. And if you have money, come to Philippines and enjoy Philippine beauties. In our time right now, all over the world, there are many people who are suffering from COVID-19, right? Even in India also, I heard that there are many positive of COVID-19. So, you know, because of many problems happen in the lives of the people in the world, I heard that 264 million people affected by depression, you know, from all ages. This is actually statistics from World Health Organization 2020. So it's very trustworthy statistics. And 800,000 people die from suicide every year. So can we imagine? Depression leads to suicide. So almost, every 1.5 seconds, there is one case of suicide happening in this world. Every 1.5 seconds. So suicide is the second leading cause of death in 15 to 25 years olds globally. So this is a very severe problem of all the countries in the world, right? So I heard that there are 10 most countries which has depression victims. First is China, and the second is India. India, your country. There are so many people who are suffering from depression. Third, USA. Fourth, Brazil. Fifth, Bangladesh. Sixth, Russia. Seventh, Indonesia. Eighth, Nigeria. Ninth, Pakistan. 10th, Iran. I don't know Korea what rank, but Korea also is very high rank of suffering from depression. Anyway, you should think that India already has very high rate of depression victims, number 2 in the world, right? That's why we should think what causes the depression. Usually, depression comes from abuse from the parents or the boyfriend or the boss in the company, like that. And then there are also loss of the loved one. If they have loss of loved one, husband, father, mother, siblings, or very close relatives, they will also suffer from the depression, right? And some trauma, like family meeting, of the father to mother, or father have another wife, and in other case, some sexual harassment. There are many cases of trauma, right? And there are some unexpected events like car accident, or become war victims, or dead by the gangsters. There are so many cases, right? And also victim of illness, cancer patients, or many other disease. Because of some disease, so many people suffer from the depression in their life. And also, there are cases of addiction, alcohol addict, drug addict, game addict, sex addict. There are so many kinds of addictions. So all these are the causes of depression, right? But in our time, now, at this moment, what causes depression in our life is, as you see, if you know something about virus, you easily know that we are suffering from the coronaviruses. So coronavirus causes historic rise of depression problems, right? So, last 3 months, I was shut up in the house. I couldn't go out. This is already my 3 months stay in the house. And as you do, here in Philippines also, we have internet fellowship, internet seminar, internet meeting like that. So we also suffer from coronavirus problem in the Philippines. And global pandemic of unemployment, many people in the world, they lose their job. So at this moment, there are so many people who are suffering from the loss of their job, right? In Philippines also, around 5 to 10 million Filipinos lose this job. There are many jobless people in the Philippines, and if we go out, because from June 1st, they lowered the level of lockdown. So now we can go out only for a short time. And whenever I go out from my house to other place, I could see that there are many people begging something, and they have some small pamphlet in their hands, and they said, I have no job, please help me, give me some food, like this. So 10 million Filipinos means almost 1/10 of the Philippine population. So the jobless people are so many. 1/10 of the Filipino people loses their job, and they have nothing to do in their lives. This is very big tragedy happened in Philippine history, and global psychological pandemic. So not they are suffering from coronavirus. Actually, they are suffering from psychological problem in their life, not only in the Philippines, but also all over the world, right? This is a really pandemic, right? Because of the coming of coronavirus to all of the country in the world. One man who, looks like having very big depression, right? This man is actually one of our Korean brother. He was shut up in the house for 3 months. And one day he said, I want to go out, but I cannot go out. What should I do? I want to go back to Korea, but I cannot go back to Korea. Please help me. I want to die. Can you see his face? He was suffering from the big depression in his heart. And then I have counseling with him through Zoom, because this Zoom chatting is a very good way to communicate right now. At this time, we are using Zoom. So I said, why you think this is a problem in your life? Don't think this is a problem. This is a good chance for you to be matured in your mental growth. And when I explain it a little bit by Zoom chatting, he finally could change his heart, and he became free from the depression. He's now out of depression, and now he's very happy in his heart. So when you don't define depression as a sickness, it's not. You only get depression when you recognize it as it is. So what is the way to come out of the depression? Don't define this depression as a sickness. This depression as a chance, to experience new life while you are living in this world. Then depression is no more depression in our life. Today, that is the reason why I chose this topic, how to overcome the depression. In Korea, in 1950s, Korea was, like Republic of Depression. Republic of Korea is the former name. But in the year 1950s, Korea was like Republic of Depression. You know why? Korea became war-torn country. They had war between South Korea and North Korea. That's a civil war. In all war history in the world, there were not civil war like Korean Civil War, because there were many wars in the world. but they are having war with other nations or other people, other races. But this Korean war was very unique because they have war with their own people, even their kinsmen. Uh, they have family in North Korea, and North Korean people also have family in South Korea. But because of difference of the political system, they have no choice but to fight each other. So sometimes they kill their relatives, and they kill their parents, they kill their cousins or the childrens. So Korea became one big tragic country because of this war. So Korea was war-torn country and suffering from the poverty. When I showed this picture to other people, they thought that is this one part of the Philippines, but it's not the part of Philippines. It's a Korean situation in 1950s. So all the people have the depression in their heart because their lives were so hopeless. So the picture you see here is not the beggars, just ordinary children of every Korean families. They have in line. They are standing in line to get food from the government. They really look like beggars. So from their early childhood age, they are suffering from big depression in their life. I was born in 1957. I also tasted a little bit of this situation, war-torn country situation and poverty and hopeless situation. And now Korea overcome all the depression, uh, by changing their heart. So Korea in year 2020 is no more a republic of depression. Now Korea no more republic of depression, but republic of hope. As you see, of the war or the poverty or the hopeless situation, everything is very changed. Korea is one of the most modernized country in the world. They have a high-tech system everywhere, every city. So they don't call it Korea as a country. They say Korea is a one big city. So they say Korea is a city of Korea because all the Korean territory is connected to every city, and they can move to northern part to the southernmost part within 4 or 5 hours. So they can eat breakfast in Seoul City, and then they can eat lunch in Busan City, and then they can eat dinner again in Seoul City. This is very amazing. They have a good transportation system and telecommunication system, education system. Everything is very good because they could overcome the depressed situation of the war and poverty and hopeless condition by changing their hearts. So Korea is very hopeful nowadays, and every country want to learn something from Korea right now, right? So this is the change happened in Korea because they could overcome the depression in their life, right? This is really amazing. So everywhere you go, you will see the beautiful status of the country, And isn't it very hopeful if you see this beautiful scene? This is a spring season of Korea, cherry blossom, full of hope, right? This is what we enjoy if we go to Korea every month of April for our mind education system with Philippine educators. whenever we brought Filipino teachers to Korea, we brought them to this beautiful scenery, which is totally blooming of the cherry flowers. Very beautiful. It looks like full of hopes, right? This is the change happening in Korea only after 50 years. Just a half a century, they could change their country from ashes to the glory. Isn't this amazing? Yes, it's related to the mindset change. They could overcome this depression by changing their mindset. So learning the reason why, how they could overcome depression is very important. So can you see this picture? This is just right after they finished Korean War, and this is war-torn situation of Korea at the time. So can you find any hope in this picture? When General MacArthur, you know General MacArthur, he is very legendary name in war, in Pacific War and Korean War, right? He was very famous for landing of two countries, in the Philippines first, and then second in Korea. He was a genius of landing operation in war. And when he left Korea, you know, he said, this Korea cannot be developed within 100 years, but only after half century, you know, only after 50 years, Korea could change their country like this. This is really amazing, right? Yes. What made then Korea like this? It's because of the changing of the mindset in their heart. By how? By new village movement. This is a theme park of Korea, new village movement. And last year, when we brought some Philippine VIPs, I brought them to this theme park. Because if you go to this theme park, you can see what happened in Korea when they start this new village movement. At first, you know, when they start this new village movement, they try to make the title as new mindset movement. But people have some thought, and then they suggest to the Korean president, Mr. President, if we say new mindset movement, they don't feel very close in their heart. So let's change to the new village movement. Then they will feel very close, and then they will be very practical in changing their mindset. So finally, President also thought that this is very good name. So from the new mindset movement, they changed it to the title of New Village Movement. You know, what is the New Village Movement? Because at the time, all of the people in Korea were suffering from the depression in their heart. Everybody looks hopeless. They open their mouths, and then they always looking up to heaven and opening mouths wide, and then they complaining to God in heaven. Why you make my country like this, like that? Their hearts are really hopeless. But our president at the time, he really wanted to change the mindset of Korean people. And one day, you know, he visited one province. And then when he passed to one province, which is called Cheongdo City, he saw different situation, you know, while all other cities are suffering from poverty and then the difficulties, no food, no good condition, no good house. But that Cheongdo City was different. It has green color, you know, and there were very many beautiful trees growing very well. And then the house also arranged very well. They are not looking like poor houses and poor cities. So President said, hey, you stop the train, because at the time they were riding on train and they are visiting city by cities, because they want to see what's happening in every cities. So whenever president passed through the cities, his heart was always sighed like this. Why my country is like this? He sighed very deeply like this. But when he stopped at the Cheongdo city, his eyes are open wide and his mouth was so widely open. What happened? What made this city so clean and so beautiful? This city looks like no mark of war, no trace of the difficulties. Hey, you go down, he told to the secretaries. You check what happened, what made them to live such a beautiful life. So all the secretaries got off the train and then they went into the city. At the time, it was not city, just a little village, because the numbers of the houses at the time were around 150 houses. That's why it was not city, just a little village. And then they checked what happened and they talked with the village captain. And then when they come back to the train, they report to the president this very simple discovery, Do you know what is that? This is a five movement. So the first one is from me, as you see, right? From me here, from me. Oh, they do everything with the spirit of from me. If they see something wrong, expecting other people, and waiting for the other people doing something, but they are different. They do first, and they have this spirit of from me. And then they are not postpone it to tomorrow or the other day. From now, whenever they see some problems, they want to solve from now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, from now. And then the third thing is from the easy thing. Actually, there are many things which is very easily done. So they don't try to do a difficult thing. They want to do easy thing. So let's start from the easy thing. So they made small canals in the village, because in the poor country, the evidence of poor countries, when it rains, because of irrigation system is not very good. The characteristic situation of poor countries, they have no good irrigation system. So if they have rain, they always have drowning, right? So they first make some canals. That's very easy, bringing their shovels, and they do the work like this. So from easy thing and from small thing, small thing like picking up of trashes and then putting it into the trash can. That's a very small thing, this is what they done in that village, and because of that, because 150 families are doing this thing, so the small thing also were easily disappeared. And then last is from the close thing, they don't try to do something which is very far in their very close place. It means from their house, from their house. So in their house, with the spirit of from me, from now, from easy thing, from small thing, from close thing, they could solve their problem one by one. Eventually, their streets become very clean, and their houses very clean. And they paint the wall of the house, and they change the roof, with the slate. At the time, they use the stem of the rice as their roof. Every 2 years, they have to change it, So they need manpower, and they need extra expenses for that. But they could change with a new material, which is called slate. That's why they could make their houses very beautiful, and it's a uh, almost a permanent, roof. They need not to change the rooftop every 2 years, so they could save the money, and then they could use that money for other things. So this is called 5F movement. This very easy thing to do are done by the people in that Cheongdo city. So when they reported to the president, for the first time in the president's position, Mr. President could make his face, smiled face. And he thought, wow, this is the thing I want to meet. This is the thing I want to see. So he made his face, smile face, and he said, let's go. No need to see other province. Let's go to the Blue House. Blue House is like White House in USA, presidential office, right? Oval office. So they went back to Blue House, and he gathered all the cabinet member, and he start to start this new village movement. So as you see the logo in the middle, it's one small trees sprouting out, right? So when they start this new village movement from year 1970s, April 22, they could change the country with the spirit of from me, from now, from easy thing, from small thing, from close thing. So whenever they get up in the morning, they they sing some song first. That is a new village movement song. I will shortly show you how to sing. 잘 살아보세, 잘 살아보세, 우리도 한번 잘 살아보세. Do you know what does this mean? Let's well off. Let's live well. We also can do that like that. They could sing this song. 잘 살아보세, 잘 살아보세, 우리도 한번 잘 살아보세. If I were with you in the India, I would make all of you sing this song, but I cannot do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my song. So this is what they do. Whenever they sing this song, they could feel some guts arousing in their hearts. They could feel some courage, guts. So before they were really depressed. They have no hope, no expectation, in their life. But whenever they get together and they sing together and they start the work with this 5F movement, they could see day by day their village was changing into new form. So after 1 month, little change. After 6 months, another change. After 1 year, big change. 5 years, great change. 10 years, miracle-like change. So the change happened, and the country become very amazing, So, like what American admiral, retired admiral said, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. Many people, they want to do something great, but they don't have heart to do the little thing. This admiral, when he give graduation address, in his school, he said like that, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you don't know how to make your bed, how can you change the world? If you don't know how to do the small thing, how can you change the world? This is the very powerful message at the time. All the students were inspired by him, and they have very good response. He said, if you can't do the little things right, you will never do the big things right. I hope you repeat this saying. All of you, now follow after me. If you can't do the little things right, you will never do the big things right. Are you agree? Yes, I agree with this. And the people who have this kind of spirit only can change the world, change the house, change the country, change their street, change their village. But if not, no change in their personal life, no change in their house, no change in their village, in their country, no change in the world. So the world, were changed by these kind of people. So what do you react to your problem? Now, are you full of depression in your life? Why you are suffering from the depression or problem in your life? As the beautiful lady here, if you see the picture of her face, we easily know that she has some problem, right? She looks like no solution for her problem. So she made her face frown face, right? So what is the problem then? What made her face like that? The problem is not that there are problems. The problem is expecting otherwise and thinking that having problems is a problem. Is this true? Not that there are problems, The problem is expecting otherwise and thinking that having problems is a problem. Is the same with the depression? Depression is not that there are depressions. The depression is expecting otherwise and thinking that having depression is a depression. You understand what I mean? Yes, this is a meaning of depression, definition of depression. Don't define the depression as an unsolvable problem, Depression is a nothing. Would you repeat after me? Depression is a nothing. Problem is nothing. If we change our heart like this, depression no more problem, problem no more problem in our life. So don't be afraid of having depression in your life. Depression is nothing if you take it as nothing. But if you accept it as depression, then you will be oppressed by that. In the end, you will totally overwhelmed by the depression and you're going to die with that depression. So in next generation, we need the men who have this mindset when everything seems to be going against you. Remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. This is very simple theory, how airplane fly in the air, If that airplane not go against wind, how can it fly, right? So we should go against the depression. We should go against the problem, not with it. If you go with depression, if you go with problem, you will be buried with that depression or with that problem. This is a Henry Ford said, when I was in Detroit City in USA, I could visit his museum, in Detroit, USA. There is very big museum of Henry Ford. If you go there, you will feel how strong the mindset of Henry Ford. He is the father of auto in America, right? So, what's the vaccine for the depression? Nowadays, the people are looking for the vaccine of the COVID-19, right? But they said to get the COVID-19, we should wait 1 more year or 2 more years, 3 more years. But, if you are suffering from the depression of COVID-19, I would give you the vaccine now, at this moment, You know what is the vaccine for the depression? Yes, it's nothing but strong mind. Strong mind that overcomes depression and helps other people. You know what is the vaccine? Strong mind. SM, SM. Vaccine name, SM, strong mind. So I hope you get this SM vaccine for your depression. You will surely be solved from all your depression in your life. If I introduce some great people's depression overcoming story, there is people like this. Homer, the poet, he's very world famous poet, right? He also suffered from his blindness. He has big depression, but he could overcome it, and he became world famous poet, right? John Milton, he's very famous for his novel named Paradise Lost. He also has an eye problem. He could overcome it. So he became world famous novelist, right? And Alexander the Great, you know, maybe he's one of the great name in the world history, right? He is not a man of high stature or big body, you know. He was a hunchback. Maybe some of you know that he was hunchback right at this moment. But he made his empire so great, you know. That is the story of great man, great Emperor Alexander. He could overcome the depression of hunchback, you know, and then he became great conqueror. And William Shakespeare, you don't need to hear other explanation about him, right? He's a world famous man. He was also a lame person. He has leg problem, but he could overcome his problem with his mindset. And Thomas Edison, he was called the fool in his childhood, but he became very famous inventor, right? King of invention. And Albert Einstein, he also had failure in math in high school, but he became a world famous scientist. And Michael Jordan, basketball player, right? But he was a substitute player when he was in high school because his mind was too high at the time. So the coach would not like to use him. So he was always bench warmer at the time. But although they have such a depressive condition in their life, they could overcome it, and they finally became a history-changing person. You know, truly amazing their life story, right? So I would say the life story of Thomas Edison is a miracle mind. He has a miracle mind. You know, he was called as the Wizard of Menlo Park. He was actually a very crazy-like behavior, you know, since he was studying about the invention. He once said like that, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 10 times ways will not work. And I have eliminated the ways that will not work. I will find the way that will work. This is what he said when he was trying to invent a bulb, electric bulb. He has failed around 10,000 times, you know. But if you see his mindset, even though he was failed 20,000 times, he would try to find another material again, even though he would have failed 30,000 times, he still would have to do work to find one material which can be the material of the electric bulb. He could finally find tungsten, you know, tungsten, material name is tungsten. And then it became the electric bulb, finally. And now, because of him, we enjoy, you know, very bright night, right? Even though we are in the night, we can make our room very bright. We can make our house very bright. We can make our seas very bright. all of this amazing work comes from the mindset of Thomas Edison. Isn't this amazing? Yes. And Michael Jordan also, he said like that. I missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games 26 times. I've been trusted to take game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. It is amazing. If you can have this kind of mindset, you will no more be suffered from the depression. Yes, this is the character of history-changing people. That is truly amazing, and they are actually worthy to be praised by all the people in this world. They have amazing mindset, right? This is the Lincoln Monument. When I was US, I visited this place, and there I discovered amazing mindset of the Lincoln life story. He is actually, his life is a series of failure, you know. He is always failure. So I cannot say all of them, but I will show you how many times he was a failure. So can you see? This is a series of his failure story in his life. So many times, almost every year, right? Until he became the 6th president of the United States, almost he was 30 years of failure case, 30 years. So can you imagine? His life is, he was born to be failed, but his heart never failed. His heart always challenging. And then he finally, after suffering 30 years of long time failure life, he finally made success, and he was elected as the 16th president of the United States. This is an amazing life story of Abraham Lincoln. So all of the people, you know, have the beautiful mindset like this. So if you see this picture, you saw the broken heart, right? If they accept depression in their heart easily be broken like this. So what is the solution for this? If they are in this situation, what is the vaccine? What is the vaccine for this? You know, there is no way but to make their heart strong, right? Broken heart must be strong. You know, that's a new vaccine for them. So if you feel that your heart is broken, if you are suffering from the depression, especially in time of COVID-19, this period will really make people's heart depressed. So wherever you go in your place, you will meet the people who are suffering from the depression, right? Here in Philippines also, there are so many people who are suffering from the depression, you know. But in our mind education office, you know, here in Philippines, we are enjoying this COVID-19 period. We are enjoying, and we are sharing our heart with other people. We gather the people in internet, and we share our story, and their hearts also become strong because they were vaccinated by our mind education. So vaccine for the depressed heart is making their heart strong, right? So now let's think about the cause of the depressed mind. There are two causes. One is superficial cause, and the other is fundamental cause. Let's see first the superficial cause. So the problem begins here, the news of COVID-19. As I know, almost 6 million, over 6 millions are positive now COVID victims, right? And if once they become COVID victims, their heart will fall into fear. And then that fear made their life depressed life. So they are suffering from the depression. And if they don't solve that depression, they are committing suicide. Here in Philippines also, I saw people who are committing suicide from jumping off from their condo. Some are killing themselves with a pistol. Why? That is the COVID-19. COVID-19, they said COVID-19 took away my job. COVID-19 made me no money. So I hate COVID-19. I have no hope, no joy, no happiness. The only way for this problem is killing myself. They are committing suicide. Many are actually doing this, Every 1.5 seconds, there is one suicide. Even at this moment now, So from my start of lecture until this point, I think more than 20 people already committed suicide. That is the thing happened in this world. So if we see the people who commit suicide, their superficial cause is COVID-19. Yes, it's true, COVID-19. If there were no COVID-19, there are not many suicidals. But it looks like COVID-19 is a true problem, but it's not true. Because there are fundamental cause. What is the fundamental cause? The fundamental cause of this depression in their life is, their heart that avoids difficulty and burden. If they have heart that avoids difficulty and burden, their heart will become weak hearts. Their direction will be weak heart. If their heart become weak, they will avoid little bit, smaller than their problem, and their heart become weaker and weaker. So the smaller problem also become big problem in their heart, and then they have some mental disease. It's more than the depression, mental disease, and they will choose the extreme way, like killing themselves, committing suicide. So their heart, which avoids the difficulty and burden, must be changed to the heart that overcomes the difficulty and burden. If they change, if they change their heart from the avoiding heart to the challenging heart, then they can make their heart strong heart. If they live with that strong heart, if they go with that direction, they will overcome difficulties, they will overcome fears, they will overcome terror, they will overcome depression, they will overcome the temptation of committing suicide. They will make their life very happy and blessed, This is the way how to solve their problem in their life. So this is a fundamental cause, superficial cause. It looks like COVID-19 is the true cause of depression in their life, but it's not true. Before COVID-19 comes, their heart already become very weak, very avoiding mindset. Whenever they see some difficulty or burden in their life, they try to avoid it. That's why their heart become weaker and weaker and weaker. And finally, they blame the COVID-19. Because of COVID-19, I cannot live in this world. COVID-19 took away my job. COVID-19 made me jobless. I hate it. I have no heart to live in this world. I want to die. And they died. That is what made them to be such a miserable life. But it's not true reason, True reason is their heart, which avoids difficulty and burden. So I hope you change from that status of mind to the heart of overcoming the difficulty and burden, then you can make your life very strong and you can overcome all the problem of your life. So there is a process of cultivation of our mind. First, our mind is like a field. You should know that our mind is a field, right? You feel we spread some seeds in the field, and then we are farming, right? We spread the seeds, and then we can cultivate that seed, right? That's exactly the same with our heart. Our heart is like a field, and we farm some seeds and we cultivate it, and then we have hope. We will have hope in depression. Even though we are in depression, we will have hope. Although there are some weeds, we can make through good flower growing. Then weeds become very beautiful background, and then that flower will make very beautiful scene, right? This is how we overcome our life. We also can do this kind of cultivation in our mind by sowing one seed. That is a mindset, overcoming mindset, right? Then we can cultivate our heart and we can overcome our problem in our life. I want to introduce this lady. Her name is Kyung Hyun. Actually, she was our lecturer last week because we have mind education program every other weeks. Every Saturday we have this program by inviting many good mindset people. This Kyung Hyun's story is from despair to the hope, from depression to the hope. Her story is really amazing, and she's very beautiful, right? But this lady, when she was in her 19 years old, she also was one hopeless lady because of her sickness. Actually, her body is prone to be very easily sickness, because she has a many weak immune system in her body. She could easily get various kinds of sickness in her body. So she was really hopeless. But one day, her life was changing. Her depressed heart, came from myelitis. This is a main cause of her depression. This myelitis makes her body numb from the loin, and from below the loin, slowly she loses her sense. That's why she couldn't feel anything. So when she was in that situation, she couldn't urinate, she couldn't defecate. That's why her mother always helped her to do the pee and poo. She really become hopeless. And then she also has a cancer, stomach cancer, bone cancer, tongue cancer, etc., etc. Actually, there are many others. She has more than 50 cancers, they said. But she could overcome. Her depression was cured by hearing a singer from her mentor. One day she finally could meet her mentor. She prayed in her heart to the Lord, and then she said to the Lord, and always, Lord, please help me meeting my mentor. Make him visit my house. Make him visit my church. And finally, her answer you know, from the mentor came to her. You know what is that saying? When she said, sir, I have this kind of problem in my life. But the mentor said, it's nothing. I hope you repeat it to me. It's nothing. Did you do that? It's nothing. When she heard, she was shocked. She said, oh, mentor, I have this kind of problem, blah, 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 blah. I have this. Her mentor said, it's nothing. What? Nothing? Treat it as nothing. It's nothing, actually. She couldn't believe her ears because doctor said to her mother, I hope you give everything she likes. I hope you buy food, everything she likes. Because doctor know that she will not live more than 6 months. That's the situation. So the cancer, bone cancer, breast cancer, everything, big problem. It's really big thing, something big, right? But one day, his mentor said, it's nothing. She couldn't believe her ears. It's nothing? How can you say that it's nothing? Where comes from that kind of saying? She couldn't believe. But, you know, amazing thing happened. Because of her trust to her mentor, she accepted as a truth in her heart. Yes, it's nothing. Now I believe it's nothing. It's nothing. And he said to the doctor, Doc, see you again. But doctor thought in his heart, see me again? No, you cannot see me again. Go away and then enjoy the food you like and go in peace. But Choi Soo-hyun said to the doctor, Doc, see you again. Doc said, okay, let's see if he see you again or not. In his heart only, he said like that. But you know, after 6 months later, when the lady come to the hospital and when Choi Soo-hyun meet doctor again, doctor was shocked to see her. What is this? Are you still living? Doc, didn't I say, see you again? Doctor couldn't say anything. What happened to you? What happened to you? And doctor checked the body. Oh my God, you know, all the disease were disappeared. All the disease. So doc said, wow, you defeated me. You defeated me. I'm sorry. You are amazing lady. I believe not by the medicine, but by your mindset, you are cured perfectly. Even though she was cured well, but because of her body characteristics, very prone to be sick again. She had another cancer. But whenever the cancer arose, she killed that cancer cell by repeating this mentor's saying, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing, That is an amazing miracle happened. So her life is truly amazing. Can you see her picture? Her and her mother, right? And then after she got cured, she become mind lecturer, and she's sharing her story. Wherever she goes, she was very famous in sharing her story, and this is her testimony also. Tomorrow Global Leaders Camp in Korea, because she had amazing mentor in her life. Yes, this is her mentor. Can you see this one? he met our president, Philippine president, Duterte, year 2017. And he also shared the heart to the president of the Philippines. His name is President Duterte, right? You know that? Yeah, he is really amazing. He also is very famous in the Philippines because he could meet many famous people in the Philippines, and they love him. You know, whenever he comes to Philippines, the owner of Channel 7, you know, always welcome him to his penthouse, and they also, you know, share the heart each other already 2 times. So he is a very amazing man, you know, who has strong mentality. You know, as I said, true vaccine for COVID-19, true vaccine for our depression, true vaccine for our problem is nothing but strong mind. Would you repeat after me? Strong mind, strong mind, strong mind. That is a vaccine for our depression or anything else, you know. You can defeat it with strong mind. That is the only way to solve our problem in our life. So it's nothing cured her perfectly, you know. This is when we met her in Korea. When we heard her testimony in our resting time, we could take picture with her. I was very happy to hear her story. It's nothing made her cured perfectly. That is a vaccine. Now, is there anybody who are suffering from the oppression or any other problem? Would you say with your lips now, it's nothing. It's nothing. If you treat it as nothing, it will be nothing. If you treat it as something big, you will be victim of that something big. What is true? It's nothing is true. Actually, all the something we think, you know, all the big thing we think in our life is actually nothing. That is the only solution for all our problem in our life. So, you know, strong mind is answer for depression of the people nowadays. We do this mind education in the Philippines with many educators. Can you see? We do this mind education course in big theater. Around 1,000 people gather together and they hear the mind education, and they cure their problem, you know, with our mind education. And we also raise many young people as a next generation leaders. So COVID-19 changes the world, and mind education changes the people to overcome the depression in life. Although COVID-19 is strong and powerful, and the changes the world to be weak. So if you are under the oppression of COVID-19, you will have a weak mindset. But our mind education changes the people to overcome the depression in life. So I hope you enjoy this mind education. So no depression in IMEI, International Mind Education Institute. Actually, we start this mind education since 2014 by our mentor here, Dr. Ok-Soo Park. He is a very world famous doctor in mind education, and he lead this mind education program with many Philippine educators in the Philippines, and he leads many people in this country. And this man is a mind education president in Korea. Anyway, no depression in IMEI. then you also say, no depression in me, no depression in my life, because it's nothing. I hope you enjoy it and believe it and try it. You will see the effect of it's nothing. So this is my lecture for you for today. Thank you for listening.